everyone, happy Monday. This week's topic is the circle. So in today's lesson, we are going to be learning about the different parts of the circle. So we'll learn about the circumference, the radius, the center point, the arc, the sector, and the diameter. I want you to pause this video now and have a think. Do you know what any of these parts of the circle are? So you could write down a little definition if you want, or maybe draw a little picture to see if you know what any of those parts are. And by the end of this video, you should know what every single one of those parts are. Okay? So first of all, what is a circle? Well, this is really basic. This is what we do in junior infants. A circle is a 2D shape, so it's flat and we can't pick it up. It doesn't have any corners, the same way your triangle or your hexagon or any of those shapes would, and it just has one edge going the whole way around the circle. The first part of the circle that we're going to be learning about is the center point. And it's really easy to remember because all it is, as the name would suggest, it's the point that's in the center of the circle. So every part of the edge of the circle is the equal distance from the center point. So if you got a ruler and you measured from the center point to this part of the edge of our circle, it would be the same along the whole circle. So every single part along the edge of the circle is the same distance away, or the same length, the same distance away from the center point. The circumference then is the edge of my circle. So in 2D shapes, you might learn about the perimeter of a shape, which is the edge of the shape. Well, that's exactly what a circumference is, except it's for the circle. So you'd call the edge of your circle the circumference. All right? The radius then is any straight line that goes from the center point to the circumference. And if you have more than one radius, it's pronounced 2 radii. And if you remember, I said every point along my circumference is the same distance away from the center point. Well, that means that every radius you draw, you could draw 1,000,000 radii here, and they'll all be the same length, because every part of my circumference is the same distance away from my center point. If I were to join 2 radii together, going straight through the center point, I would have my diameter. So a diameter is the straight line that goes from one side of the circle to the other side, but it has to pass through the center point. So if I went from here to here, that wouldn't be a diameter because it has to go through my center point. And if you can see back here, this is my radius, and this is my diameter. The diameter is twice as long as the radius. So this here is made up of 2 radii put together. So if you measured what the radius is, you'd know what the diameter is, because you just have to multiply it by 2. So say if our radius was 1 centimeter long, then our diameter is double that, so it's going to be 2 centimeters long. The arc then, really easy. The arc is just a part of the circumference. So it's just the edge along here, it's part of our circumference, just a little part of the edge of our circle. And lastly, our sector. A sector is made of an arc, which is this part here, and 2 radii. So remember, our radius will start at the center point and go to our circumference. So I could have a sector that starts here and maybe goes over here. That'll be a sector. Okay? So your task for today is really easy. You can use this video if you want. I want you to draw a circle in your copy. I would recommend you maybe do it about at least half a copy page so it's big enough. And it doesn't have to be a perfect circle if you don't have the right instruments at home to draw your perfect circle. Just do a rough circle. And I want you to label all the different parts of the circle. So you have your center, your radius, your circumference, your diameter, your arc, and your sector. Okay, best of luck. Bye.